Good morning. Good morning again, or good day wherever, whatever time zone you might be in. And as we all know, Google World is a 24/7 world. Somebody is always awake doing something in the Google Plus world. I guess I have somewhat of an apology to make today. I am not going to take the full time this morning to give you long answers to the 3 questions that I have presented for today. I will give you answers, short answers, if you will, to set you in the right direction, and we will pick up those questions and give you more detailed information because they are indeed extremely important considerations for you to be thinking about as you analyze what has worked for you in your marketing and sales, in your business in general, in 2014. There are 120 days left in 2014. It is not too early to start to analyze what has worked for you in the first 8 months of the year. How are you tracking your success towards your goals and objectives for 2014? Most small businesses do not take the proper amount of time to, and I'm talking about small business owners now, to step away from their business and to really analyze what's going on. Why is it happening? What is it that I can do to make it work better than it's working? For years, I have urged, recommended that small business owners take at least the last 100 days of the year to analyze exactly what is going on with their business. See if you are meeting your goals. By now, since August is now complete, actually September is the last month of the 3rd quarter, so you should be pretty close to 75% completion of your goals for the year. If you're not, why aren't you? What do you need to change to make things, make your goals so you can realize your goals in 2015? That's the purpose of these sessions. And in fact, we are setting up workshops of only 10 small business owners per workshop. We'll have as many as we need, but each workshop group will only have 10 members. One of those 10 members is going to be me. I will be in all the small group workshops facilitating that workshop. There are 2 purposes, at least 2 purposes of those workshops, and there will be a fee involved. I will bring questions to the workshop that I know are important. I will give my answers to those questions and then open up for discussion to the rest of the members of the group. That's one purpose. The other purpose is for those small business owners each to bring their unique individual concerns of their small businesses to these workshops, so that in a brainstorming kind of fashion, we can all help one another. We can collaborate with one another to meet the challenges of our business and move our businesses forward. That's the purpose of our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs in Google Plus community. Small business collaboration. How can we work together, A, to help each other, and B, in you and I helping each other out in our small businesses. Together, we form a new force, if you will, a new entity, if you will, to take out to the marketplace, to help other small businesses with the challenges that they have. Not help them, solve the challenges. Solve the challenges. That's the power of the things that are going to be happening in our workshop groups. This Saturday, in our community meeting, Dreaming with Entrepreneurs in Google Plus community meeting, I will share in greater detail the things that are happening and will happen in these workshops. So I urge you to attend. I think we're going to be having no, I haven't. It's not definite yet. I was just trying to think if there's somebody who has also committed to come with their challenge to our community meeting. So once again, as a community, we can help one another. Another announcement, if you will, at noon today, in about a little over an hour, I will be having community member Phil Boyer. Phil, I've known Phil for over a year, and the thing that got me interested in him and what it is that he does in Google Plus, I saw it, was that he brands himself and what he does as breaking the rules. Entrepreneurs must break the rules. Phil has a new book coming out shortly. I'm not exactly sure when the publication date is. And we will be talking about that book and what rule-breaking recommendation Phil makes to the rest of the world. If you haven't met Phil yet, I am certain you will enjoy him. He is definitely one that thinks out of the box, and I don't always agree with what Phil has to say, and that's okay. That's okay, but I am assured that anytime he and I engage in some type of discussion about small business, it will be a great discussion. That's happening at noon today. And then at 2:30 today Eastern Daylight Time, I'm actually going to be part of a panel on another HOA that community member William Rock is producing. William is a wonderful security engineer, internet security engineer. He understands how the technology works, why the technology works, and if there's a problem with the technology, potential fixes to it. A lot of things are happening in the world today with internet security. It's scary how much is happening today. There's 2 stories right now happening, how some folks got into Google's servers and put out on the internet some very private, personal information about some Hollywood celebrities. And then once again, and we hear it multiple times a year, unfortunately, that the security within retailers, within their environments, have been challenged. And the current victim is Home Depot. And it is scary to find out how much is going to happen. Each day we're hearing new information about that. So this afternoon at 2:30, William Rock will teach, will explain, will share his knowledge about internet security. Another wonderfully interesting experience that I've been having for the last couple days, well, actually since Friday, or Thursday or Friday of last week. Guy Kawasaki, if you don't follow Guy in Google Plus or Twitter or everywhere else he is, he has millions of followers, literally millions of followers. And a couple of years ago, he wrote, well, I don't even know if it was a couple or how many years ago, he wrote the book, The Art of the Start. It was written actually more than a couple of years ago. It's 10 years ago. It's the 10th anniversary of The Art of the Start. Wonderful, wonderful book. The time-tested, battle-hardened guide for anyone starting anything, not just a business. But if you're starting a business, it's a great source book of information. And in last Friday, a guy sent out an email or a message. I don't remember. It might have been. It was an email. Sent an email out, and I'm on one of his email lists. It was not sent to me personally, but sent out to the world, the universe, that he was looking for some beta testers to study his manuscript for The Art of the Start version 2.0. In March, Guy will have published an update to this book. So in his email on Friday, he said, well, I'm looking for beta testers, and he asked for a short paragraph of why we think we should be a beta tester for his new book. So I said, well, what the hey, this is an interesting opportunity. I loved his first book. I recommend his first book. I use his first book. Speaking about using, it talks about starting something, but I found in reading not only this book, but the manuscript for version 2.0, that it's a good book to read so that an existing business can validate what is happening in their business. I absolutely guarantee you that if you have a business, and I don't care how old it is, just starting 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 40 years old, 40 plus years old as my business is, 50 years old, that if you read something that Guy Kawasaki has to say in The Art of the Start, you will find something that you have not currently thought about, in your business. Not too many folks I can actually make that same statement. So I responded to the guy on Friday, and lo and behold, an hour or two later, hey, congratulations, you were chosen to be one of our beta testers. Here's the manuscript. So I read the manuscript. Actually, I read it on Saturday. Started to read a little bit on Friday. Finished it on Saturday. Had 25 comments about the manuscript. Sent it back to Guy on Saturday, and it just so happens it was Guy's 60th birthday on Saturday. So I told him, well, here in a small way is my birthday present to you. And lo and behold, I've been engaged with Guy several times in emails. We haven't spoken in a hangout or whatever. Several emails going back and forth with some of the ideas, and there were three comments I made specifically that Guy really wanted more information from me what my thought pattern was, and why was I suggesting or saying what I was. So that's been a wonderfully interesting experience to see a manuscript from a world-renowned personality, 6 months, 7 months before it actually gets published, to see it's in its infancy, and to watch it grow based upon the feedback the guy is getting from the world at large, if you will. I don't even know how many folks are participating as beta testers. I'm sure it's probably around 100. So I will be giving you updates as to progress on that, because it will help your small business, period. Okay, briefly, 3 questions that I wanted to share. Short answers. I will give you, not only will I give you longer answers, but probably tomorrow I am going to explain the 22 boxes on this chart. When I mentioned it in yesterday, some folks said, we want to hear about that now. So that will be our discussion tomorrow. But here's my short answers to the questions of today. Will you be integrating direct mail into your online or offline 2015 marketing strategy? Do you know the 7 key points of an effective direct mail sales piece? I'm not going to answer that part of the question, the B part, but the A part. If you are not integrating direct mail into your 2015 campaign, a marketing and sales plan strategy, you should. I have been using direct mail successfully for over 40 years. Every time I do a direct mail piece, and I've done, by this time in 40 years, I've done hundreds of them. I don't think I've done thousands of them. I definitely have done hundreds of them. Well, you know what? I might have. I've done a lot of hundreds because I was in the 80s, mid-80s. I did a massive amount of direct mail, literally hundreds of millions of pieces of direct mail back in the 80s. And so we learned a lot about direct mail back then. But direct mail works. It works because you can put your direct mail piece out there and measure very accurately how it worked, because people responded to your direct mail. You run a newspaper ad, somebody sees your ad on television, listen to it on radio, they see a billboard. Unless you have a specific call to action, which you always should, that you can measure, you don't know necessarily how that particular form of marketing worked for you. You always know in direct mail. And now with new technology or updated technology, you can have a direct mail piece, put a QR code on the piece, and send people directly to your website. They don't have to type anything. So we will be talking in greater detail. So if you want to do direct mail in 2015, and you should want to do direct mail in 2015, our workshops will be a great place for you, because you will get the best information. Not only will you get the best information I have, I will work with you as a member of that workshop to help you get that direct mail piece out there and working well for you. Question number 2 for today. What are the dangerous times for a business to start up? The answer may surprise you as to how it relates to your existing small business. Well, the most dangerous time is not necessarily the start itself. That's not dangerous. That's the fun time where you have this dream, this passion, this thing that keeps you awake at nights, this thing that wakes you when you're trying to sleep at night. When you launch that new business, that's not really dangerous. That's fun. The dangerous period really is, and it's not just for new business startups. It's for businesses that are already established and need to go to the next level. It's that period called ramp up. If your business is moving in the right direction and you need to ramp up the activity of your business, you need to hire people, you need to produce more things, you need to get more done, then it's dangerously critical at that period of ramp up that you do it right, because it could potentially destroy everything that you've worked so hard to build. So, dangerous, yes, but it's just a part of doing business. Question number 3 for today. Do you know all the advantages of operating a small business out of your home? There are lots of advantages, and you've actually heard me speak about a lot of them if you follow me. I've operated a business out of my home for over 40 years. I've never had an office with my small business. I've never had an office with my small business. It has always been in my home. So I probably haven't taken advantage of all the things, but I've taken advantage of most of the things. A book that I can recommend is a book written by a friend of mine, Barbara Weltman, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Starting a Home-Based Business. It's 3rd edition, so she has written 2 before that. Once again, not just about starting a home-based business, but using Barbara's book and great information to validate what it is that you are doing or not doing in your existing small business. Speaking of Barbara Weltman, I just got a notification from Barbara today that she has been nominated again by Small Business Trends as one of the most important influencers of small business. She gets nominated every year, or as many years as I've known her, which are probably approaching 7 or 8 years now. And when I got that notification, I responded by telling Barbara, sure, I will tell and share with our community, our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs and Google Plus community, that you, a member of our community, have been nominated and you need a vote. We'll get that going. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to that in the event stream. But I also asked Barbara if she has time to do an HOA with me before the September 15th deadline. Every time a tax year, Barbara comes on, because that Barbara is recognized as America's #1 small business tax expert, period. Not by me, although I do consider it, say it, promote it, market it, but by the New York Times and the Washington Post, have both called Barbara the #1 small business tax expert. Every year she writes an updated edition to Small Business Taxes. 2014, she's working on 2015. I guarantee you right now, and 2015 book will be published, if things go as they typically go annually, around November. So we'll definitely have Barbara back to talk about the book then. And she actually has another book out there. She has 4 books out there right now, and they were all released in October of last year. Boy, it's almost a year now. I can't believe it. I did an HOA with Barbara in October last year, when the books were released. She also has out The Guide to Self-Employment. Great book. Got updated edition, small business tax edition for the year that we're in. She also wrote, last year she took a different turn in writing books, something different for her. She wrote a book called Smooth Failing, and it really caught my attention. The story was about 11, or the book was about 11, had 11 or 12 chapters in it, about individuals who you don't necessarily know the individuals. You probably for sure know the names of the companies that they now have, but they all started out, that's the purpose of the book, they all started out with failures in a business venture. Every entrepreneur, and I don't like to use the word failure, I really don't. You've heard me say this before. I believe failure is when the entrepreneur doesn't do what they should be doing. They have a passion, they have value that they can bring to the marketplace, but for whatever reason they're not doing it. I think that's failure. When the entrepreneur tries with whatever idea, product, service that they have, they might not be as successful as they want to be. And that's okay. But we learn from the mistakes that we make. They're not failures. We're just not as successful as you want to be or as you need to be. So, a lot of things going on right now, and I told you I wasn't going to give long answers, but I've been on for almost 45 minutes now. I'll give you better answers to the questions than I did. I didn't do justice to any one of the questions, so I will work on longer, more detailed answers that will send you in the right direction with the challenges that you have in your small business. My name is SmallBizDavid, and I'll see you tomorrow, the next time, which may very well be the best time. See you then.